Mr. Ferlazzo claims that he doesn't remember what he told police, that he doesn't remember being in the interview with police, and that he doesn't remember much of the night he killed her, and that his memories were not full at the time and are still fragmented. Luckily for Mr. Ferlazzo and for all of us, every single word that Mr. Ferlazzo said to the police about what happened to Emily was recorded. The reason that Trooper Cody turned on his body camera when he called Mr. Ferlazzo. The reason that Detective Voris did the interview in a room equipped with video and audio. The reason that Detective Voris made sure to have an extra recorder on his body when he went into different places, went to the breaks, went to the holding cell, just in case. The reason was all to make sure that everything Mr. Ferlazzo said about what happened to Emily was recorded, and that we would all be able to refresh his memory. You all heard every word that he said to the police, just days after he killed Emily. We played you every video, every recording. You have the transcripts. There are no secrets here about what was said or done. There are no mysteries. And immediately after signing the Miranda warning with Detective Voris, Joseph was ready to talk.
All right. So, Joe, is it fair to say that you have an idea of what we want to talk about?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm here to talk to you. Like, you don't have to beat around the bush.
Okay.
I'm sure you already talked to Spencer. I fucked up. Plain and simple. Like, I had a fucking lapse. And did something that I can't undo. So here we are.
And less than 2 minutes after that,
So I came to Vermont. I was living in New Hampshire for like the last 2 months with my wife and her family. And I came to Vermont. We were supposed to have like a weekend away, take vacation, do some camping, like have some fun. And like as soon as I like put the vehicle in park, like my wife went completely berserk, like completely psychotic. And I shot her as a result of that. And now here we are. So,
All right. Can you, where did that happen?
Bolton, Vermont.
Okay. All right. So, I guess my next question is, when did that happen? Saturday. Do you know about what time? Saturday evening? All right.
No, no. Saturday morning. And I think I was thinking. It was like, yeah, it was Saturday morning.
the state believes that the interview, the recordings, and the transcripts of the same all show that Mr. Ferlazzo was ready, he was willing, and he was able to give a coherent, a voluntary statement. You saw for yourself how he interacted with police throughout this interview, and you saw for yourself how he presented on the stand. You heard him outline in the interview with police in great detail what led up to shooting Emily twice in the head, and never, not once, did he say that Emily was a threat to him, that she had a gun, that he thought she was going to kill him. In fact, what you heard him say repeatedly when asked multiple times, was that she had stopped fighting.
Can you describe Emily when you shot her? Like, what was she doing?
She had stopped fighting, and she had gone and laid down, and jumped on top of her. And I shot her in the head.
How many times?
She had stopped fighting, she had gone and laid down. I went and jumped on her, and I shot her in the head. The physical and forensic evidence shows that Mr. Ferlazzo did not act in self-defense. Just days later, he had no injuries, no bumps, no lumps, no bruises, no scratches, no burn marks from this alleged burning candle that was wrestled over during this interaction that he testified to yesterday. The physical and forensic evidence shows that this was willful, that he intended to do it. His actions were deliberate. They were not provoked under any circumstances, and they were premeditated. He planned to kill her during that 5 minutes, and he executed that plan. Mr. Ferlazzo's statement to police is detailed, it's thoughtful, it's thorough. At times, you see him correct himself if he gets a detail wrong. He goes out of his way to correct it with police. He's given opportunities to warm up, to sleep, to eat, to drink, to smoke. He was given numerous breaks. He had time to contemplate and correct inaccuracies, fill in the details when police asked for them.
And while this was, while she was in bed, where were you when it was?
Oh, he's sitting right here on this little couch. Right touch on that. Sure.
And I think we had asked where the Glock was currently, but where did you get it from?
That was in the closet.
Where's the closet?
This is the closet.
Okay.
I was on the couch.
Okay.
And I just got up and grabbed it and shot her.
At no point during his statement does he ever say anything about Emily being a threat to him. At numerous points, you heard him talk about the feeling that he had before he did it, that he felt warm, and he specifically described that feeling as rage, how he wanted to stop her, and how he made a decision to do that.
I remember sitting there
On the couch.
and just trying to it was raining. And I remember I was just watching the rain. It was lightning. And I was on vacation and I was just trying to enjoy myself and stay out of the rain. And I kept trying to relax and she just kept trying to unfurl my piece. And then it was just I just felt this wave come over me. Yeah, it was like,
What did that wave feel like? You talked about before, like you felt like a warm sensation in your body.
I think it's loss of focus, rage, heat.
Were you feeling angry, or were you feeling sad, or how were you feeling?
Felt pushed, fed up.
pushed and fed up. In defense counsel's arguments, they said that it will be up to you to determine whether or not Mr. Ferlazzo on the stand yesterday was telling the truth or if he was lying to get away with it, making up a story now to get away with it. That will be up for you to decide. But the state would just highlight that Mr. Ferlazzo testified to a history of abuse, being assaulted by Emily numerous times, having black eyes, bumps, bruises, but not a single witness got on the stand during this trial and corroborated any of that. No friends that they lived with or hung out with saw any of this alleged abuse. Nobody saw these bruises. The only witness that got on the stand and testified to seeing bruises was Adrienne Bass, Emily's mother, who testified that Emily had bruises on her, who said that Joseph was taunting Emily while they were driving once, so much so, and poking at her, so much so that Adrienne feared for their safety. Adrienne told you that at that New Year's Eve event, Emily called her on the phone and she had locked herself in a bathroom and Adrienne could hear Mr. Ferlazzo yelling at her on the other side. That's the evidence that you heard. Further, again, Mr. Ferlazzo testified that Emily had a gun, a detail never mentioned until this trial. The detail that Mr. Ferlazzo now says he left out of his interview with police, the reason, the why he killed Emily, arguably the most important detail for a self-defense claim, the most important detail that most people would have led with, is now the detail that he wants you to believe over everything else. He wants you to believe that detail so much that you acquit him of this crime. But not so important that he didn't tell his sister, he didn't tell his best friend, he didn't tell the police. Specifically, he didn't tell Trooper Cody, he didn't tell Detective Voris, he didn't tell Detective Richardson, he didn't tell Detective Truex, he didn't tell Detective Nolan. A detail so important that he only knows this detail exists because it came to him in flashbacks. This is not a flashback. This is not a merry-go-round. This is reality. And in reality, there is not a single piece of evidence to corroborate this one detail. The truth in this case is not complicated. The truth is simple.
I fucked up, I didn't necessarily leave it up.
I fucked up. I made a mess. I cleaned it up. We believe that the evidence shows beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Ferlazzo killed Emily and that he did so willfully, that he did so intentionally, that he did not do so in self-defense, that it was deliberate and it was premeditated. And we ask that you find him guilty of first-degree murder.
Judge, may we approach, please?